Maybe I'm just nostalgic, or maybe it's truly magical. Oh, when I see that castle, the feeling is truly magical. Maybe I'm just nostalgic. Maybe it's truly magic. Maybe I'm just nostalgic. Maybe it's truly.
I'm Brooke.
And I'm producer Matt.
And this is not quite the same Disneydo podcast without Andrew.
No, it's very disappointing.
Andrew's gone for like the next 3 weeks.
Well, he was gone for the next 3 weeks. This is the last episode before he comes back.
Well, as of right now, Andrew's gone for 3 weeks. When you hear this, we will have him back.
And really, the next episode's pretty much going to just be dedicated to hearing how much better his 3 weeks have been compared to our 3 weeks.
What if he decides he doesn't want to be on the podcast anymore while he's away? What if he has this enlightening moment where he's like, you guys are losers. I'm the real star of this show. I'm going to go solo like Justin Timberlake, and y'all are just going to be like Joey Fatone and Chris Kirkpatrick. Just no one even cares.
We'll find a third co-host.
That's a real threat.
That's not a real threat.
Well, I mean, it kind of is. If he hadn't confused Eddie Murphy and Will Smith, I would say he has a more legitimate chance at making it on his own, but I don't know. That may have ruined it.
This is like the fourth episode we've done without Andrew. He's been absentee before.
Yeah, but not for this long.
This is the longest that we've gone without Andrew, which luckily we recorded in advance to cover up some of the gaps.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to talk about something that Brooke doesn't care about, is basically the theme of this episode.
All right, guys, here we go. This is what's happening tonight. We are having a discussion. I use that term loosely. This is going to be producer Matt's hour, half hour, however long he needs to take to talk about Hollywood Studios. What exactly is there to talk about? I'm not sure, but we're going to find out. Producer Matt, what do you got for us?
So the reason I'm doing this is that on May 1st, it will be 30 years that Hollywood Studios has been open.
Quick question. Speaking of 30-year anniversaries, are we going to have a Little Mermaid anniversary? Because it's 30 years old this year.
I believe it is. Let me see when the actual date is.
I think it's in June, right? It was June? Or was it November? It may have been in November.
It's November,
release.
So yes, stay tuned for November for definitely
God,
a Little Mermaid.
that's so far away.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
Oh, Lord.
So I have always loved Hollywood Studios, even though it is like a shadow of what Hollywood Studios used to be. You, unfortunately, went to Disney at the worst time ever for Hollywood Studios.
Well, we didn't all, live privileged lives.
I know. I'm not trying to be aggressive in that. But so Hollywood Studios used to be MGM Studios, and Disney had cut a deal with MGM Studios where they would have rights to all of their library and all of their logos for attractions. And they basically built MGM Studios strictly to fuck with Universal Studios. Like, Universal Studios had announced, like, oh, we're going to open a park right near Disney. And Disney was like, well, what's your park going to be? Oh, it's all about, like, the magic of making movies. We make movies too, motherfucker. So we're going to build a park instead. And they just built this park before Universal Studios could open that did all of the things that Universal was planning to do. So they were going to have a backlot tour. And for many, many years, MGM Studios had that, where they were filming a lot of the Disney Channel shows at MGM Studios.
In particular, I need examples.
Okay.
Any good ones?
So one of the things that I do remember was that around this time they had just finished doing, like, when this opened, they had just wrapped on doing Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the movie. So you could go and see, like, all the props from that movie, and they had, like, a green screen test where you would lay on.
Why don't they still have that? That would be dope.
They closed it for, like, Star Wars and all that other stuff.
Oh, God, the last thing the world needs. Star Wars.
But yeah, at the time
Don't at me, okay?
You could lay on the bee from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and in front of a green screen.
What about Auntie?
There was a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
He dies, R.I.P. Never forget Auntie. You're the real hero of the story.
He lived on in MGM Studios because they had a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground where you go in there and it was built like a giant backyard.
That's so much cooler than anything that is there currently.
Yeah, that's why most of my love for Hollywood Studios is what it used to be. It used to be dope as fuck.
That is so lame.
So yeah, there was the kids' playground, which I actually don't think I ever got to play on it. I only know of it from videos.
Oh, so you weren't quite that privileged.
Not quite that. So here's the thing. Our Disney trips, a large chunk of our Disney trips were based on us as a family sitting around watching a VHS tape of what it would be like to go to Disney. And then eventually we did go one year. But yeah, for a long time it was like, ooh, that would be cool.
For a long time.
By the time we got there, most of the stuff was gone. The tapes were like 5 years old.
Oh my gosh. It's not like you had to wait decades of your life to go there. I feel so bad for you. I'm heartbroken. Oh, you didn't get to go. You didn't get to go on the playground with any of the kids. Oh.
So
Coda, he's sad. Go make him happy.
Well, now he is.
Yeah.
Came over and just started licking
Surprised he's still conscious.
So the other thing that MGM Studios was really focusing on, and there's still elements of this in Hollywood Studios, but the design was that you were supposed to feel like you were walking around Hollywood in the 1930s. And, you know, instead of having these intellectual properties everywhere, they had cast members that were dressed up as like directors and talent agents and stuff. So you'd be walking around and all of a sudden like a director would just be like, oh my God, do you act? You're the most beautiful person I've ever seen. And they would like stop you and start to direct.
That actually happens to me. So that would be
I've been
confusing.
told that I look like a prince before. And they start.
And they took a picture with you.
They did. They start directing you on like, act scared, act excited, act happy, laugh for me. And then like, you know, other people.
They're like, bye.
Yeah, get out of here. Go enjoy your rides. And just little things like that. Like there was these little cool things that really brought the whole park together. At the time, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit was still very popular, so like Roger Rabbit was kind of one of the like tentpole characters that would walk around.
Was that a Disney movie?
It was a Disney MGM collaboration.
Okay.
So
the movie
like
is scary.
Yes, very much so. It terrified me as a child.
Yeah.
Those eyeballs
eyes,
pop.
yeah,
Yep,
no.
no, can't do it. My cousin used to make fun of me about that and would just walk around and be like, ah!
It's scary.
It's still
like,
scary
it's
as
not
an
cool.
adult.
It's not cool.
It's very frightening.
And I think they should not show that to children.
I mean, I turned out okay.
Says the girl who was like arguing for death to be in children's movies.
I was going to say.
Which I stand by.
You absolutely do.
I just don't enjoy eyeballs.
It builds character.
Eyeballs don't.
Not the eyeballs.
Eyes aren't even real, according to Jaden Smith, son of Will Smith, a.k.a. Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. We should say that Andrew is currently at in Miami, which, as you know, was a famous song by Eddie Murphy.
His most famous song, Eddie Murphy, Miami.
I'm
never going to let him live it down. It's like one of my favorite things that's ever happened.
We should address that. Yeah, that Shrek episode was an April Fool's joke, but that mistake was not.
No, not at all. We have another episode we're going to address the Shrek
in more detail that you've already heard, but
yeah,
let's address this because that's not worth wasting time.
Right. The Eddie Murphy was so real. The Eddie Murphy Will Smith mix up of 2019, like that, you can't stage that shit. That was real.
And that's just one of the many things that we've had to cut.
Oh my god! Yeah,
where Andrew just could not figure shit out.
No. But you also ruined a lot of recordings. There are episodes they'll never hear.
You say a lot. There's two.
There's like four.
There's two.
I'm pretty sure there's four.
There's two that there's two that never got released, and then there's two that we still put out regardless.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been put out.
So by my book, there's only two that are lost episodes.
Oh my god, this churro funnel cake looks super good from Disneyland.
Turn into another snack episode.
Look at it. It looks real good.
Yeah, that does look really good.
I mean, it's Disney related. So
I found out.
All right, continue talking about Hollywood Studios because it's super boring and these people just want to be done this episode.
So my favorite aspect of Hollywood Studios, and it was probably until it closed, my favorite ride in all of Disney was the Great Movie Ride. And I've talked about that in smaller details on the show before, but basically the idea was it was a 20-minute long ride where you got to go through the magic of movie making. And what that was you would sit in this car and you would go through, they had hundreds upon hundreds of animatronics that recreated all of the famous moments in film. So you would pass by like Gene Kelly singing in the rain, like dancing on a lamppost. and you would go into the Wizard of Oz, and the witch would pop up, and you would go into the alien spaceship, and the alien would burst out of
I don't like that.
an area, and at one point your car gets hijacked by either you got two options.
Bruce Willis.
No, you would get hijacked by either a cowboy or a gangster, and it always ended the same way. When they got into the Indiana Jones prop, they would go up to try to steal the head that Indiana Jones steals at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost
Golden
Ark.
Monkey?
Yeah,
or
the
is
golden-
that from Legends of the Hidden Temple?
That's the Shrine of the Silver Monkey.
Oh, the Silver Monkey. Got it.
But yeah, they would go to grab that, and then they would burst, and there would just be a skeleton left in their place after they've touched this like ancient relic, and then your original driver would come back and take you through the rest of the ride. And I just always loved it because I mean, I don't think it's a secret. I love movies, so being able to experience like living inside of some of the classics was really, really cool, and it meant a lot to me as a kid. And then they closed it, and I was very sad because they like announced that they were closing it, and then it was like closed like 2 weeks later. Like it wasn't even like they were doing like a farewell tour for the ride. They were just like, and we're closing the Great Movie Studio in 2 months. Go. So
I mean, that's like a heads up.
it was nice. It wasn't enough of a heads up. I just had to watch people's videos online and cry.
You cried?
No, I didn't
Yes,
cry.
you did. You
I
cried.
maybe got
You
a tear.
absolutely cried.
I got a tear. Maybe.
Or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or just like a whole cry.
Also, one of the only original or fairly original things that are still in Hollywood studios, because they've closed almost everything and replaced it with new stuff, was the Muppet Vision 3D, which is probably...
I did that.
Yeah, which is also probably going to go away soon. But
It was okay. It was better than I thought it would be.
it's fun. It's funny.
I hear
It's
that,
cute.
that rumble again.
Yeah,
Did you
I heard
hear
it too.
That was weird. It wasn't my stomach this time.
But it's not in the recording, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to worry too much.
Whatever. I'm just going to call it out.
If you heard a rumbling, we heard it too. If you didn't,
What?
sorry that we brought it up. Tower of Terror was a pretty early addition in there, which is, to me, the highlight ride of that park.
What? Rock and Roller Coaster is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I think they're both great
It's
rides.
so
but-
random. It doesn't make any sense, but that's a good roller coaster.
And that roller coaster, they had pitched a couple bands originally. I think Rolling Stones was one that they talked to. Like, Aerosmith was kind of a last-second option when
They need
couldn't-
to change the band. I think they need to update it. But I don't know what band they would do.
I don't even know if he
What
knows-
if they did like Backstreet Boys? That would be so cool.
I don't even know if you necessarily need
You're
to
going
be
through
going.
the dark tunnels, just like everybody.
Does it need to be a band?
Yeah, Backstreet Boys.
But like, it doesn't, like, going to the concert doesn't really fit the Hollywood Studios angle anyway. Like, why not go into like a movie
Hollywood,
premiere?
baby.
I guess
Backstreet Boys.
I guess. I do love that ride. I love the use of like the fluorescent lights inside
It's really
everything.
fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun roller coaster.
They're both great rides. I just
Tower of Terror, I liked it, but I'm so short that like I didn't know you could really like see out of like the window
that
thing.
could
Like
probably
my
hurt.
view was blocked. So I was like, this is dumb. And then like when it drops, like I flew out of the seat and I didn't like that. It was still like it was fun.
I think for me, I like the ambience of the Tower of Terror more. Like I like the creepy hotel and like all the little stuff from the Twilight Zone hidden everywhere.
Yeah, see, I just never really got into the Twilight Zone, so
Which is-
it
are
was
you-
fine. It was
Are you
okay.
going to check out the new show though that Jordan Peele's doing?
I'm not going to have much of a choice, thanks to someone who is
Oh.
obsessed with the Twilight Zone.
I can't imagine who you're talking about.
No.
But I'm probably going to see Godzilla with them in like a month.
Yeah, he loves the Twilight Zone.
I may have watched multiple episodes with him when friends were playing Risk. So,
Yeah, he's all about it.
so I just think that the attention to detail in Twilight Zone is a little bit more because they knew what they were doing from start versus like with Rock and Roller Coaster they had
Well,
the
they're
idea.
so different. It's just like flashy and
Yeah.
loud and fast. Where like the Tower of Terror is like this whole built-up theme. It's got
And it tells a story, yeah.
It's a Twilight Zone episode, so it's
Now, there's another thing that I probably should mention because my sister does listen to this show, and it's her favorite thing about Hollywood
Which
Studios.
sister?
Julie. Julie. She every year makes every time that we go to Disney, she makes us do
Every year.
She makes us do the Indiana Jones stunt show. She just adores it.
I didn't do that when I was there.
I think if we ever go back,
I could have, but I was like, I'm so bored here that I just want to leave.
So the stunt show, I feel like you would enjoy. It's a cool little 30-minute thing where they literally recreate moments from Raiders of the Lost Ark and show you how like certain stunts were done, and they'll pull up people from the audience to be extras in some of the scenes that they're shooting, and there's like explosions and all that cool shit. I don't think it's worth seeing every single time you go, like my sister seems to.
Wow, you're just fucking calling her out.
Just calling her out. But I also...
Julie, he said, this shit's lame. You don't need to see it every time.
I've also never done... Now, you've done some stuff that I've never done there, because I never did the Frozen sing-along.
Yeah, I would love to talk about this to
Go
piss
for
off
it.
Daniel.
Let's talk about it. Because I hear it's one of the best parts in Hollywood Studios.
It's really fun. It really is. And I'm not just saying that because I'm one of those lamos that likes Frozen. It's fun. It's good.
One of those lamos. One of the highest grossing movies.
You know what? People that
Daniel's
don't like
the
Frozen.
lamo here.
Yeah, he's so... I can't... That guy. He and I, we're going to fight one day. Or we're just going to like understand each other on a weird level and just really get along. I'm not sure yet.
We'll find out. I'm going to meet Daniel probably.
You're going to meet Daniel?
I'm pretty sure. I think he goes to San Diego Comic-Con every year.
Wow. Andrew meets gleefully Tim. You're going to meet Daniel, and I'm just here taking care of dogs, not meeting anyone. Nobody cares about me.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly not possibly going to see areas of Europe one of these days. But
What? Aries?
Areas of Europe.
Oh, areas of Europe. I thought you said Aries.
Yes, areas of Europe.
And I was like, what the fuck's that? Anyway, it's really good. There's like 2 additional characters in the show that kind of tell the story. They're like the narrators. They're a little over the top, a little cheesy, but they interact with the crowd. It's
They'd
fun.
be perfect for me.
I love Frozen. I love the songs. So a Frozen sing-along, like, yes, please.
Were you singing your heart out in that
Fuck
audience?
yeah, I was. It was a really good time. I don't regret it. I would do it again. It's fun.
It's worth noting, I guess this is a good time to say, in about 2 weeks, I'll be at Disney with my family.
Sorry, Cody's
and
being bad.
I'll be at Disney with my family, and I will probably do similar to when Brooke was there, trying to do some Instagram updates.
I have to screen all content going on the Instagram because you are notorious for getting like the worst pictures ever.
Well, no. I'm going to try to stick mostly with videos while I'm on the story.
What kind of phone do you have? Did you finally upgrade?
Yeah, this is the XR for the
Okay.
iPhone.
You need to put it on portrait mode.
Okay.
Take really good
Teach me.
pictures. You need to download the VSCO app.
Okay.
Edit things.
Okay.
Get your white balance.
Okay.
Okay, and your
Got it.
contrast and your fades.
We might have some time between this recording and the next one we're doing.
Coda, you are driving me crazy.
So you can train me on how to properly edit
good
some
content
photos.
only.
I'll try my best. I also have one of the Kelly sisters there. I'm sure she can teach me. Her IG game is pretty on point. But we'll get some good stuff up there for you guys. So May 10th to the 17th, keep your eyes on the Instagram for
Who
updates.
goes to Disney for a week? Jesus.
Fairly regularly, the Kelly family.
I went for 4 days.
We do that 6-day park hopper pass.
I did that like, I'm poor. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It won't be.
4-day
You'll
pass.
be back. The listeners will pay for you to go back one of these days. Isn't that right, listeners?
Bullshit. These Disney hoes is poor too. They gotta save their money.
Hold on a second. I want to check something real quick while we're doing this episode. And, like I said, I don't think that there's too much that I have to say about this park because I do know that it's not the best. I love it, but, I know that my love is not the greatest. Holy shit, you know what next week's going to be?
Next week, like literally a week from this very moment,
No.
or from when this episode
comes out.
Okay.
1 year of Disneyto.
It feels like 84. It's been a long year. It's been a trying time, guys.
So that'll be an exciting thing for you guys. We'll have a year. So we'll get to hear all about Andrew's trip and celebrate a year of
Yeah, I was
doing
like,
the
what
show.
the hell? What are we going to celebrate? Be like, hey, guys, we've been talking for a year.
Yeah, you've been listening to us. Thanks.
Yep.
We disappeared sporadically in December while producer Matt figured out how to do audio.
I think it was January.
December and January was a little rocky. There was definitely some missing episodes.
I mean, we also had a rough time at April Fool's. People
did.
were very upset.
Very upset.
They thought our credibility was ruined because how dare we say Shrek is a Disney film? We are imbeciles.
It's a controversial statement.
I know. We're just grade A pranksters.
Top notch. Impractical
Prank war
Jokers.
champions.
Yeah, Impractical Jokers got nothing on the Disney podcast.
Obviously. We got some serious shit that was hilarious. I was like, oh Lord.
Yeah, there were some people upset. Some of my friends were upset.
We got some messages. People were not thrilled. Like, how dare you? And I was just like, whoa. I was like, you clearly didn't listen all the way through, guys.
I like it, but imagine that. Imagine being so angry that you're like, I can't even continue to listen. This makes me so upset.
That's what happened though. People were like, this pisses me off so much. It's so cringy. And I'm just like, whoa, that's how fucking good we were. We sold that shit. You bought it hook, line, and sinker. Like, just eating that shit up.
Well, the secret to that success is that we all genuinely love the movie Shrek. So
It's great.
We just had to talk about how much we love the movie.
I know. I still I can't get over that. That's just so funny to me.
So tune in next April Fools for Shrek 2, the second most underappreciated.
Shrek 2, coming at you. The only good sequel Disney has ever done.
What else did you do when you were at Hollywood Studios that you liked? I know that there was Frozen. There was.
I liked the Toy Story game ride.
Okay.
I didn't do the Slinky Dog spin time
or the alien
coaster.
saucer thing.
I didn't do the alien saucers either. The Slinky Dog ride is obviously for little kids, so I was just like, I don't need to ride that. Like, it looks cute. I'm sure it's fun.
I'll report on it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Andrew told me not to ride Dumbo, but Slinky Dog ride, I should run that. But the game is fun, and like I said in my report back, I was looking at the wrong screen the whole time I was playing the game on the ride, so I thought I was winning, and I sure wasn't. So I liked that. What else did I like? I feel like, the Disney Villain store is gone.
Yeah.
So I was so pumped for that, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, it's gone." I was like, "Motherfucker!" The food in Toy Story Land, you can get grilled cheese, so
Dope.
that's awesome. Like that. This was the first park I got beer in. Was it? No, that was Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Day 2. But I did get beer. Obviously, you can get beer at the other parks, so I did that. That was fun. I did Tower of Terror twice, so.
Not a bad one.
And then I was like,
twice.
I'm bored. And we left.
I would say that Hollywood Studios also has my favorite themed restaurant, as well as my friend Rachel's favorite themed restaurant, like a separate one than mine. And there's the Sci-Fi Drive-In Diner, which I love, where your seats are basically like old 50s cars.
Mm-hmm. Lauren was telling me about that. She's like, if you can do that one, you should do it.
And you're sitting there and there's a giant movie screen. They just play old 50s horror movie trailers. Mm-hmm. And it's like kind of fun because you're just looking at all these really cheesy old ads. And then the one that my friend really likes is 50s TV Dine-In, I think it's called. And it's designed where it's supposed to feel like you're eating in like a TV diner from the 50s, and the waitress is real sassy and like gives you crap for if you put your elbows
Did she say
on.
Toots?
I don't know if she says toots.
You should go there.
I should find
you might
out.
meet the woman of your dreams.
But apparently, like, they'll like put you in the corner if you're putting your elbows on the table, and like they like make you clean up after
At
yourself.
a diner?
Yeah. Like, it's supposed to be like you getting in trouble at like a family dinner in the 50s, but you can also
Okay, well, what's the setting? The diner or a family's house?
I don't know. I've never been in there.
It doesn't make sense for it to be a diner and then you put your elbows on the table and they put you in like timeout.
I think it's supposed to be more of like a
someone's
kitchen.
house.
Yeah. But you apparently, if that like stresses you out like it would for me, because I don't handle stressful situations like that well.
No, you don't.
You
it's
can,
like Matt have manners. He's like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
you can say, hey, we're just here for the show. And then the waiter knows, like, okay, I'm not going to give you crap, but you can watch everyone else get shit on publicly. So, like...
I would be so good at that job.
You would be pretty damn good at that job.
I would be really good at it.
So, you know, if our current job doesn't work out,
yeah,
down to Orlando. Then you can go to Disney every day.
Ooh, that's a lot of
a
lot of Disney.
And get paid to just be sassy to people.
If they pay well. I would consider it.
Did you do The Little Mermaid there? There's like the Little Mermaid show.
Sorry, Rowdy's cracking me up. I didn't do the Little Mermaid there.
Okay.
No.
I haven't done it for many, many years, so I don't know if it's still there, but I think it is. But yeah, it just used to be a lot more of like seeing how Hollywood operated, and like you could walk through. Oh, that was what it was. You could take a tour of the animation studios where you could see the animators in real time drawing the newest Disney animated.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, like I'm kind of bummed that a lot of that's gone, because I think that like that's never coming back. You know, like, and Hollywood Studios is going to just become like the Star Wars and Toy Story land. Like that's going to be.
I hate Star Wars.
I know you do. I do think that from what I've read about the one Millennium Falcon ride, I'm kind of interested because that seems kind of cool, but I'm not like that blown away by all the stuff at Galaxy's Edge anyway. The drinks seem interesting if I drank, but that's about it.
He's cute boy. Yeah, I don't give a shit about Star Wars, so...
Yeah, it's very clear.
When does that open?
I think like September or October, sometime in the early fall, which was why when we were originally talking about going in September, that was such a positive option, was that everyone would be there for Star Wars and we could just probably hit every other ride known to man. But, you know, maybe some other time. We'll figure it out. Budget's not in our favor for a September trip to Disney. But that's all I've got to say. If you want to wrap it up.
Oh wow, that was actually a lot quicker than I thought it would be.
I tried to make it.
All right, guys, that is producer Matt's little spiel on Hollywood Studios. Unfortunately, it's my least favorite of the parks that I've been to, but it's Matt's favorite. So let's tell him that's great.
Oh, thank you.
If you would like to get in touch with Matt, here are the various ways you can do so.
You can contact me at St. Mort on most everything, but
we're not giving away personal information, okay, Matt? Jesus is not for you to tout yourself.
But more importantly, you can contact us at Disneydo on our Twitter and on our Instagram.
No, that's wrong.
Oh my God,
that's wrong.
At Disneydo Podcast on our Twitter and our Instagram.
No, this is how we have to do it. If you want to talk to Matt, you can email us at disneydopodcast@gmail.com. You can email us from our website as well, which is disneydopodcast.com. If you still want to talk to Matt, our Twitter handle is at disneydopodcast. You have a decent chance of reaching the three of us at our Facebook page, Disneydos. You can also maybe get Andrew or I before you get Matt on Instagram. Our handle is at disneydopodcast. So... best of luck, my friends.
Thank you, everyone, for listening for the last year. It's been a fun ride, and we look forward to another year.
We're talking about that next week.
I'm just saying, I want to give him a preemptive thank you.
All right, guys, we love you.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network. You're listening to the Geekscape Network.